Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Leadership Insights. I'm your host, Jane, and today we're diving into an incredible story of resilience and leadership with the tale of Sir Ernest Shackleton and his Antarctic expedition. With me is Dr. Alistair, a historian specializing in exploration and leadership.
Thanks for having me, Jane. I'm excited to discuss Shackleton. His story is more than just an adventure. It's a masterclass in crisis leadership.
Absolutely. So, Alistair, for our listeners who might not be familiar, could you give us a brief overview of who Shackleton was and what he set out to achieve?
Certainly. Ernest Shackleton was a British explorer during the early 20th century, a time when the South Pole was the ultimate challenge. After others had already reached the pole, Shackleton aimed for something even more ambitious: to cross the entire Antarctic continent on foot. And in 1914, he launched the Imperial Trans-Antarctic Expedition with this goal.
Wow, that sounds incredibly daring. I read that he even put out a very interesting ad seeking crew members. Something about a hazardous journey and uncertain return?
That's right. His advertisement was famously honest. Despite the risks, thousands of men applied. Shackleton chose 27, and they set sail on the ship Endurance. It shows you the kind of person he was looking for: brave, resilient, and ready for anything.
So they set off full of hope, but things didn't exactly go as planned, did they?
No, they didn't. The Endurance became trapped in ice in the Weddell Sea. Imagine being stuck in a giant ice cube. They were completely isolated, far from any hope of immediate rescue.
That sounds terrifying. How did Shackleton and his crew react to this crisis?
This is where Shackleton's leadership really shines. Instead of panicking, he remained incredibly calm and focused on survival. He famously said they were confined for the winter, and immediately started preparing the crew for the long haul. His optimism was infectious.
So what specific actions did he take to keep his team together and motivated during such a difficult time?
He established daily routines to combat idleness and despair. Everyone had a role to play, and Shackleton worked alongside his men, fostering a sense of unity. He also made it clear that their well-being was more important than the original goal of crossing Antarctica. It was about the team, not the individual glory.
That's a crucial point. Putting people first, especially in a crisis. What about the physical challenges? How did they manage with dwindling supplies and the harsh environment?
The conditions were brutal. They hunted seals and penguins for food and fuel. As supplies ran low, Shackleton made sure his men were taken care of first, even sacrificing his own rations. He understood that maintaining their physical strength and morale was essential for survival.
It's incredible how he prioritized his crew's needs above his own. So eventually, the Endurance was crushed by the ice, right? What happened then?
Yes, the ship was lost. They had to abandon ship and set up camp on the ice. Shackleton's mission then shifted entirely to getting his men home alive. He knew that polar exploration was full of tragedies, and he was determined to avoid becoming another statistic.
And that led to one of the most daring rescue missions in history, didn't it? Shackleton and a small crew set off in a lifeboat to find help.
Exactly. They sailed 800 miles across the treacherous South Atlantic to South Georgia in a small, open boat. The conditions were horrific: freezing temperatures, massive waves, and constant danger. It's a testament to their courage and Shackleton's leadership that they made it at all.
And even after reaching South Georgia, they still had to cross a mountainous, frozen island to reach the whaling station. It sounds like something out of an adventure movie.
It was an incredible feat of endurance. Shackleton and two of his men trekked for 36 hours across the island, facing extreme conditions. When they finally arrived at the whaling station, they were exhausted and emaciated. But they had made it. And, most importantly, they were able to organize the rescue of the rest of the crew.
So in the end, every single member of Shackleton's crew survived. That's an amazing accomplishment, especially considering the circumstances.
It is. It's a powerful example of how strong leadership, optimism, and teamwork can overcome even the most impossible odds. Shackleton's story continues to inspire leaders today.
Absolutely. So, Alistair, what are the key leadership lessons that students can take away from Shackleton's experience?
Firstly, prioritize your people. Their well-being and morale are crucial, especially in a crisis. Secondly, remain calm and optimistic, even when things look bleak. Your attitude will influence the entire team. Thirdly, be adaptable and willing to change your plans when necessary. And finally, foster a sense of unity and teamwork. Everyone needs to feel like they're in it together.
Those are all excellent points. It's clear that Shackleton's leadership wasn't just about giving orders. It was about inspiring and empowering his crew to overcome adversity.
Exactly. He led by example, showing courage, resilience, and compassion. He understood that his role was to serve his men and help them achieve their full potential, even in the face of death.
Well, Alistair, this has been a truly fascinating discussion. Thank you for sharing your insights on Shackleton's leadership. It's a story that reminds us that even in the darkest of times, strong leadership can make all the difference.
My pleasure, Jane. Shackleton's story is a timeless reminder of the power of the human spirit.
So to wrap up, remember Shackleton's key traits. Prioritize your team, stay optimistic, be adaptable, and foster teamwork. These are valuable lessons that can be applied in any leadership situation, whether you're facing a crisis or simply trying to achieve a common goal. And that's all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with another Leadership Insights.